There has been a lot of hype about College Football 25, and recently we got some new information coming from an insider in the gaming industry. His name is Mike Straw of InsiderGaming.com. He is one of their senior editors. He went on Twitch recently and started to talk about some of the features that we are going to see in College Football 25. I will leave some screenshots of his information. Go and check out that stream. It was about 51 minutes long. It happened yesterday, but we got some interesting details about the upcoming game, and we will kind of go over them in groups here and talk about what he talked about here on the screen in today's video. But I will be talking about all information that comes out on the new game. I'm so excited for it, obviously, with my past experience with NCAA dynasties and everything like that. So this is the channel to keep up with all of that news and those details. So let's just talk about some key elements that he went over in the stream. And I'm going to break this up into 6 sections, and I'm going to talk about all of the points that he talked about in that 51-minute stream. So first, let's start with what I would call the kind of overall arching thing of the game. Like, these are like the core features of the game that are going to make this experience. And we're going to talk first about, kind of the feel of the game. So first off, option offenses received a ton of attention, new animations, tons of efficiency and speed, and it could be a little OP. Who knows? It's a college football game. You will notice when you use a 2-star player against a 5-star player. So there will be a big difference between those 2-star players, those prestige players. Wear and tear matters a ton in longer games. You'll be able to tell by how he plays if a player isn't receiving proper rest. Online Dynasty will not be cross-play this year. It is something they want in the future. And then gameplay and the core Dynasty experience was a big focus for this game. So I want to talk about this section just a little bit. So obviously, we wanted Dynasty to be the core focus, to be honest with you. I think everybody across the community did. Dynasty is probably the most played game mode in NCAA football. And obviously, you can't have a game without it. It's got to be the focus. So that is a very good sign. The one thing that I took away from this, the 2 main points though, the 5-star versus 2-star difference. Now, I don't know what this is going to mean, because let's just say I have a 2-star who I develop in my Dynasty, ends up becoming, a higher overall player. Maybe not so high, but high enough. Now, is it going to be that I will never be able to kind of live up to, a 5-star player's production? I doubt it. I'm sure that you will be able to play at that level, but you will notice a difference. And I'm not sure exactly what that means, but I'm assuming, straight out of the gate, as a freshman, a 5-star player and a 2-star player are going to be dramatically different ratings wise and may feel different as well. And then the next point I want to highlight here in this section is the wear and tear details. Now, this is pretty much music to my ears, because college football is all about kind of getting the most out of your entire roster. And obviously players don't play every snap of every game. Obviously in video games, that's a bit different. Like, you can play a player every snap of every game, but that's not realistic. But I'm glad that they're adding that into the game, and especially when you have quarter lengths, which are a lot higher, substitutions will matter a whole lot more. That is just validation for me coming off of the details that we initially got last year, which is pretty good. All right, next, I'm going to talk about the animation details versus Madden and some of the other details here in this second section. First, mascot mode likely not in the game this year. I don't think that's a huge deal. I'm not sure too many people played mascot mode. Deep dives are coming soon, possibly this week. I don't know if they'll come out this week, but we'll see. Like, that would be awesome if they started to come out. It doesn't matter what part of the game, just start talking about the game. Madden and College Football 25 are on the same engine, but the developers have done a lot to make College Football 25 feel different than Madden. I think we kind of saw that from the trailer. It looked like the same engine, but I could see some like slight details that were different. And here's the big one. College Football 25 will play much faster than Madden. I think that's going to be the differentiator between the two games for sure. I think that College Football is faster than the pros, obviously, and we're going to see that here in the game. That's definitely probably important to make them feel like two different games. Many new animations for College Football 25, plenty of new catch animations. That should be a year-to-year thing. There should be new animations every game. And then possible that helmets could get knocked off. I'm not sure what that means, but obviously you know the difference in the rules in college and pro. If you lose your helmet in college, you have to come out for a play. If you lose it in the pros, you can stay in. You just put it back on and keep going. But I don't think this means that when you get hit hard, your helmet will pop off. I think there's just going to be like regular plays where like defensive linemen and offensive linemen are, jostling for position and one guy's helmet pops off. I think that's kind of what we're thinking about here, but it's possible. I'm not sure if that's actually going to be in the game, though. I haven't heard anything besides that. That's the first time I heard that. So first, our next section, let's talk about the broadcasting licensing and the school difficulty differences. And this is a bummer, though. Not a full ESPN license, just the broadcasters like Kirk and Chris. No ESPN score bug. So we were hoping that it would be like really, really authentic to college football. Obviously, they can't put everything in the game, and this is just one of those things. So I'm guessing the score bug will be like a college football 25 score bug where it's kind of unique. I hope they actually have like multiple of them, but I doubt it. I'm not sure if they will. The easier schools will be really easy to play against if you are a bigger school, even on the harder difficulties. And the example that Mike Straw used was Michigan versus Buffalo. Now, this is interesting because I know everybody has their differences in how they play Dynasty. I like to build up smaller schools, and obviously playing against bigger schools is a lot tougher, but seeing that it's actually in the reverse, that if you play as a bigger school, it's easy to beat the small schools. I actually like that too, because think about it in real life. The big schools play small schools. It's like 60-6, 60-7, 70-7. Like, it's these ridiculous scores. I'm glad to see that in the game. Like, I do want to see that in the game. It's just realistic. No mode like the yard from Madden in College Football 25. I don't care about that. He reiterates that this game will not be bare bones. It is treated as a foundational building game. I mean, that's the hope for everybody. That's a good sign. And then Dynasty and RTG will have a ton of replay value. I think that should be what it should be. But I don't know exactly what that means, but we'll have to see when the game comes out. So the fourth section here that I want to talk about, Dynasty and RTG Details. A lot of effort went into how the offseason works in Dynasty. My biggest hope for the offseason is that they said they already confirmed the transfer portal, but I want the spring game back in the offseason. I think that was one thing that was missing from the Xbox 360, PS3 era. The spring game was an opportunity for you to see how your players look in the offseason and kind of make a determination before even starting a game. Obviously, you can go into practice at any time, but it's not the same as actually seeing how they play in a game where the ball is moving down the field. So I hope that, that is put back in the game. No BCS option for Dynasty, playoff only. I'm not too shocked about that. Like, it's just an unnecessary evil to put in the game. It's all about becoming a huge star in RTG. NIL plays a role in the mode. So we've talked about NIL, and now that it's kind of been confirmed to be in the game, and I'm happy about that. I wonder how they will use that in Dynasty, but they highlight it here. He highlights it here in RTG. But becoming a huge star. So I'm assuming that, there's going to be some type of RPG element where, you kind of rise to being some type of big star. College game day, not really in the game, but there will be a pre-show, but not really college game day. So I'm very excited about this because I like the pageantry, especially when you load up a game. Who are they going to be talking about pregame? Which players? I'm hoping that they don't just talk about the stars of the game. So, like, let's just say like a higher overall player or an impact player. I hope they highlight somebody that maybe wasn't expected to get 2 sacks last game, just came off the bench, got 2 sacks, and they talk about him, or a cornerback that's been playing lights out lately, hasn't allowed a catch in man coverage. I hope there's like details like that, but we'll see. In the past, it's basically been impact players or players that have been putting up big stats. I hope they highlight some of the little guys that are, key cogs in the team as well. custom playbooks and recruiting is deeper. There's no real details on that. Pretty basic stuff. So we will hop into the next section here, which is Teambuilder Details. So Teambuilder is basic, but enough for people to be happy. Okay, I want to talk about this a little bit because there was another detail here that was missed here in these notes, and it's that Teambuilder should be available the first week of July. That is the plan. So they are basically saying that we're going to give you a week and a half, 2 weeks to play around with Teambuilder before you load up the game. This would be probably the best news out of all of this, because if you are a Teambuilder guy, I love Teambuilder because of the aspect of creating even high school teams, you know, doing the recruiting and all that stuff, you know, having the immersion there. It gives you that opportunity before the game even comes out to have that stuff already done, or at least already be working on it. It basically gives you the game before the game is available. That would be amazing. And I miss Teambuilder. Even if it's basic, I don't care. Give me the old Teambuilder. Like, obviously they've had time to, you know, kind of spruce it up, but they can do that over time. Like, I'm not too mad that Teambuilder is going to be like pretty basic. I just want Teambuilder. I want to create the jerseys, obviously modify the ratings of the players, see what that's like. The old Teambuilder was actually pretty good. It didn't have, you know, a lot of bugs in it. It was pretty basic, but it got the job done. So that would be amazing news if EA confirms that that's going to be out in the first week of July. More detailed substitutions, a lot of different equipment compared to Madden, and many different crowd reactions. We kind of saw the pageantry in the trailer, so I'm not surprised that, you know, the crowd reactions will be different. And also, we did see some different equipment in comparison to Madden. So that is a good thing also for the game, and especially for making the game feel different than Madden itself. And finally, the final block here, which is when to expect gameplay. So full gameplay footage by early June. So I'm guessing in the next 2 weeks, they will start to show some gameplay. I don't know if it's going to be like a full game where you can kind of dissect every play, but they will at least have something out. There will be a ticker at the bottom of the screen. That's no surprise. First true current gen football game from EA, ground up current gen. Will come to PC with future releases. That's an interesting one. I don't know what future releases mean. That probably means not this year's game. That means probably next year's game. So, I mean, no surprise that eventually they do have to go to PC. And then blocking gameplay looked good. So, like I said, my big takeaway here from these section of notes is that there's full gameplay coming by early June. That is a good sign. And we should be getting details out. I know everybody's anxious. I'm anxious. Everybody just has to be patient here. But this is a good sign going into this game. They are starting to leak some details, starting to, you know, show some of these things off. I mean, everybody's been kind of patiently waiting, and it's almost finally here. We have about under 2 months until release, official release on July 19th. I've already pre-ordered the deluxe edition. I'm excited for the game. Hope you guys are too. Make sure to tune into this channel for more details as they come out. I will try to get those to you, and hope you guys have a good day. Enjoy the details. See you next time.